What's good, y'all? It's Nonstop No No with another video. So, just came back home from the watching the Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua rematch. Everybody already knows the unanimous decision for Anthony Joshua playing Ring Around the Rosie. Um, but before I get into that, I'm gonna talk about the card as a whole for Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. Stage, I think the venue it looked pretty nice, the outside and stuff like that. Um, I heard they had some rain and the city's all under construction, so it was hard to get in there and stuff like that. But besides the point, whatever, it looked like a nice venue. So I got to give them that much. But then again, they got that oil money, so it better be a nice venue. With that being said, so let's go to the undercards. I got there starting to watch the fight when it was the Dylan White versus Whack, whatever his name is, the Viking. Um, yeah, let's go bag on Mr. Dylan White, Mr. If I had the same fights that Deontay Wilder had, I'll have knockouts too. That guy. Mr. Oh, Wilder only beats up on old guys. That's all he knocks out. That guy. So, talking all that shit, and you couldn't even drop or put down this 39-year-old, about to be 40, Viking guy. Yeah, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Because you'll never get in there with Deontay Wilder. He will get mopped. One right hand, done. For that fight, you can tell he was going for the KO. He was trying to put everything in those punches, and nothing happened. It was supposed to be a look good fight for Dylan White, but it backfired. It was a mediocre performance to a guy that he was supposed to wash. So shut the fuck up. That's all I gotta say. They keep on talking, but they can't do what Wilder's doing. So that's all I gotta say. So congratulations for Mr. D-Ball himself, Mr. Getting caught with freaking PEDs in the system himself, and not knocking a guy out that he's supposed to be knocking out and going all the way 10 rounds for some 39-year-old old guy. He'll get washed by Tyson Fury. He'll get washed by Ortiz right now. 40-year-old Ortiz will fuck Dylan White up. Period. So let's get into the Povetkin versus what's dude's name? The bounty hunter fight. It was a good match. I wasn't really expecting much for the most part because obviously everybody was there for the rematch, right? So I wasn't really even trying to see what these guys looked like. I could care less about pet cheats. I could care about steroid users. These guys are on my shit list, so I could care less. Another guy, they got caught cheating with PEDs before he was about to fight Wilder, while Wilder was in Russia training for the last week for the Povetkin fight. Got caught. It was just a freaking ped fest in that whole card. But anyways, it was a good match. It was kind of back and forth. I didn't have a good winner, for that fight. So the draw was cool to me. It was all right with me. And again, I wasn't even checking for that fight, no way. But Povetkin, you could tell it will probably be like a Povetkin versus dealing white, the clashes of the ped users, something like that. So you know how it goes. The reason why, at least I think, the reason why it was hosted in Saudi Arabia, at least one of the reasons, so these guys, these cheaters, could fight without being drug tested and stuff like that. Again, Ortiz, Wilder, Fury would beat the shit out of Povetkin, easy, knock him out, cold. So again, what do these guys really got? You know what I mean? But they never want to call out these so-called old men or people without boxing skills and windmill, Wilder, and skinny legs. Call them out then. Call them out. So let's go to the main event everybody's been talking about and in anticipation. Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua. What more could I say? What I wanted to happen is the same thing of what happened the first time. Ruiz getting the win by knockout. Because I believe, this is my opinion, is that Joshua will not fight Wilder. He is not going to fight Wilder ever in his boxing career. He's going to run away from that WBC belt. You could throw 100 million at him and he's not going to fight him. That's the only reason why I wanted Ruiz to win, because I think Ruiz is more game to fight Wilder than is Joshua is more game to fight Wilder, i.e. the $50 million offer, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's fake. Okay, then call his bluff and see if it's fake. But again, I don't want to go into that. That was in the past. But that's why Joshua is in my shit list, because he asked for an offer. Wilder's team gave him his offer. And all of a sudden it's bullshit all of a sudden. Even though you're dealing with dudes that had fights that's worth $300 million. $500 million, i.e. Mayweather versus Pacquiao. These are guys that worked same fights in this high of a caliber, but you're going to question if they actually got the money or not. The fuck out of here. Anyways, that's the reason why I wanted Ruiz to win. As soon as Ruiz took off his shirt, I knew this was going to be a bad night for Ruiz. Everybody knew from the weigh-in that he weighed more than the first time around. But it showed. It was just one of those things to where Ruiz has nobody to blame but himself not winning this fight, or not giving him a chance to win this fight. I think it's a mixture of the confidence. I think it's a mixture of the fame and the riches that he got the first fight. He became laxed. He became less hungry, no pun intended. The motivation wasn't there, and you've seen it in his weight gain. He was lax in his training, and that's the number one thing you're always going to hear boxers say. And I've heard this all the time in my amateurs and stuff like that. You win in the gym before the actual fight. You win in the gym. You want to train harder than your opponent. You want to run, those miles at 4 o'clock in the morning, cold, at night. The sun hasn't even rose yet. But in your mind, you're saying, and you're gaining confidence that you're training harder than your opponent. He's not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing this work. I'm going in 2 times a day. I'm doing conditioning in the morning, then I'm going to do sparring in the evening. I'm eating right. Everything is going. All cylinders are going. You didn't see anything um, in Ruiz's uh, training that depicted that he was training hard for this fight, and it showed in his body and in his weight gain, and it showed in the ring. He got lax, and that's one thing that people don't really take account of. These fighters get paid millions upon millions of dollars, i.e., let's say a Floyd Mayweather, a Manny Pacquiao that's been doing this. He's 40 now as well, right? Deontay Wilder, I could put him in there. A Anthony Joshua, let's put him in there. He's not my one of my favorites, but he's in that group too. To where the fame and fortune hasn't got them that lax to the point where it's they made it to the peak already. You see what I mean? So you don't need to train hard anymore. You got millions upon millions in the bank already. You train less harder once you see that. You see what I mean? As opposed of on your way up trying to get there. So that's what I seen with Anthony Ruiz Jr. The money got to him, but that's no excuse. He knew the moment, and he should have trained in the gym. You win in the gym first. Number one rule: you win in the gym. You do all the work in the gym, so you could perform that night. As far as Anthony Joshua, the totally opposite. He put in his work in the gym. What can I say? He knew he's the taller, rangier guy. He knew what to do for this fight because he's seen what happened wrong in the first fight. Don't get close to him. Don't let him come in. Jab. Use that stick. Obviously. He did get popped a few times. But he stuck it out, and that's what I was waiting for. I wanted to see what happens once he takes a real shot. Would he fold, or would he stick with the game plan? And he, for the most part, he stuck with the game plan. But with I don't know, man. With Joshua, I didn't want him to win this fight, man, because I already know the bullshit that comes with it. He's not going to fight the guys that we want to see him fight. And he's going to be talking all the shit, and his little man fans are going to talk all the shit in the world like they actually did something. He already did it in the post fight. Acting like he was all big and bad, like he really did something, and he didn't do anything. All he was doing was sticking and moving. That's it. He did nothing but play ring around the rosy and keep away from Anthony Ruiz. He wasn't trying to get a knockout. He was there to survive and box circles for 12 rounds. So don't act like you did something, because you didn't. It wasn't all that. I'm sorry. Everybody's seen it. It wasn't all that. Once you got inside, oh my God, let's hold. To the point where it looked like you were about to kiss the man. Every time you're like looking into his eyes. Everybody's seen it. And then you want to get on the post fight like you did something. You didn't do anything. It was just what can I say? It was something that you needed to do because you couldn't do it any other way. Definitely not an inside. But you could do that when you're 6'7", a mover with a longer reach than your opponent that's 6'2", fatter, and doesn't move. Okay? So don't you dare expect, just because he won Ruiz, doesn't mean that he could win against an Ortiz, a southpaw. He could move. He could get inside quick. He could counter you. He's reactive. He could slip punches. We've seen it. Don't think you could do that with Tyson Fury. He's taller than you. I think he got a better reach than you, if not the same. So now you can't play that type of keep away game, because now you're actually fighting guys at your own size and stature. And you know damn well what I'm about to say too. Don't you think you could box 12 rounds like that with Deontay Wilder? One shot, hitter quitter. Because those shots that landed for Ruiz, everybody knows if one shot landed for Wilder, it's fucking over. Period. And if you guys don't think so, push for the fight. I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to, well, how do you know? Push for the fight. If you guys are that confident that Joshua could win against Wilder or even Ortiz, push for those fights. Because I want to see them. That's the thing about me. I want to see these fights actually happen. I'm not just talking shit. Just ask for those fights. If you think your man can do it, then do it. But you don't. That's why you want to keep on doing this deflecting tactics, this pageantry. Oh, well, Anthony Joshua's legs are big and beefy, and I'm a man, and I like it. And look at his arms. Over here fantasizing about men. The fuck out of here. That's all I gotta say, guys. That's as for Ruiz, back to the drawing board. He didn't get beat up or anything. It wasn't a life or death situation. It just his training. Basically, his preparation was garbage. I think he said in the post fight, I didn't really hear it because I was already on my way out, that he really trained himself for this second fight, which is fucking stupid. But that's on him. That's on him. Anthony Joshua did what he was supposed to do, and that was box circles around this shorter guy and win and get his belts back and hide those belts from Wilder for the rest of his career. That's all I got, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, hate on it. It's all good with me. And let me know your thoughts, and let me know who you want to see him fight next. Let me see who you want Ruiz to maybe fight next. All right, I'm going to post another video later on tonight, probably, if not tomorrow morning, for the Charlo versus Hogan card, and definitely looking for the fight for Chris Eubanks Jr. and Matt Korobov. That's a sleeper fight, so I'm gonna definitely watch that. I'm out, you guys. Deuce.